Internet, hello you lovelies, let's talk about Godzilla Minus One. Now the first half of this review is going to be non-spoiler for folks who haven't seen it yet. The second half is going to be spoilers, but I'll put a line there so you guys will know. I'll definitely announce when I'm going to get into spoilers, but this is going to be a non-spoiler Minus One review first. Now please do follow me right here on this channel if you want to see more reviews like this. You can find me talking about comic book movies all over the place at tons of other networks, but I'm trying to review more stuff here that I watch like Saltburn, Napoleon, this movie on my own channel, so follow me for more reviews as well as the actual comic books themselves, the actual comic books. I'm going to do more stuff on here. So follow me right here on this page. Let's get into Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One achieves something that I think many monster movies and many blockbusters and many action movies try to do but fail at. This succeeds at balancing the tone of awe with the sense of humanity and drama. Now, monster movies are all commentaries through humanity, on what humanity is. Godzilla himself represents so much about war and about nuclear terror and about what it feels to be small in a growing world of technology and horrors. And Godzilla itself, throughout all of his years, his 70 years, has been many things, but the sense of awe is either too prominent or doesn't quite feel like it resonates because you care too much about the human beings. Here, you care about the human beings, but you also have a wonderful sense of awe. The drama of the human beings is never shortchanged for Godzilla, and Godzilla is never shortchanged for the humanity. That, I think, makes it my favorite Godzilla movie of all time. I've seen, I think, around 20 Godzilla movies. I've never missed one in theaters since I was old enough to know to go to theaters to see them. And this is the one that I think beats not only the 1954, but also Shin Godzilla for me as the greatest. King of the Monsters is also incredible. But I really got a sense of every character arc was so important. The acting of the human leads was so powerful. And I cared about not just our main lead's journey, but his friends and the characters he meets on his journey and the people that have 20 minutes of screen time, 2 minutes of screen time. This is so powerful a story about the strength of humanity, and it deals with the overarching themes of Godzilla throughout all of the movies in a way that feels so pointed and prevalent in today's society. Unfortunately, is still just as prevalent, but it deals with honor, it deals with, and this is when I say, like, unfortunately still in today's society, it deals with the ramifications of war on a soldier, but also a sense of duty and completion of duty in a way that is so hard to juggle in a film, especially like this, where it's a monster movie, but what it means to be still at war, what it means to be fighting your own battles, what it means to be literally versus metaphorically dealing with the horrors of what you've lived through, and I was so impressed at the balance of tones as well as the influence of a lot of different styles of filmmakers. The director, who is absolutely incredible. Full disclosure, I hosted the premiere of this film, so I'll put some pictures here, but I hosted the premiere of this film, and I got to meet the director, I got to meet the lead actor, and the incredible warmth and passion for these films is so on display with both these gentlemen. They are so in love with what they do. The director was not just the director, he was also the writer and the visual effects supervisor. The visual effects lead of this film was the director, which is why they managed to make this for $15 million. I've talked a lot about the awe of this film. This movie had a crafty budget of a Marvel movie. This movie had the budget that gets maybe 1/4 of the marketing done on a regular blockbuster. This blockbuster was made for an indie film, a small indie film's budget, because of the passion and the heart from the director. So what I think the acting and writing really mastered for me was there is a sense of, is your war something that you can get done with? Is it something that you can not escape but be finished with? And having Godzilla represent violence in a much more direct way and have him, beyond his own violence, but have that awe tie into the drama in this way enhanced both the drama and the horror of Godzilla. And I always say with, comic book movies that the best way to make a punch land twice is to care about the hero and the villain. The reason Daredevil works so well is because you care about Kingpin and Matt Murdock. Every punch lands twice. They did that with Godzilla. You don't feel that, oh my god, I kind of want to be Team Godzilla here as much because he's very much the original Godzilla. He's a movie monster. He's not an anti-hero. But because of our love of Godzilla, we always do feel that sense of like, this is awesome. But because of our love of these human characters that we just met, we also realize that awesome isn't always a good thing. You can be in awe of something and it can be terrifying. And it's awesome throughout, but it's also so traumatic and so painful and so horrific, just like war, just like violence, just like a soldier that can't escape his trauma, a soldier that can't have his war finish. And so I was so impressed at those themes. I was so impressed at the way they were able to convey the enormity of Godzilla. I was so impressed at the influences like Spielberg, like Nolan, like in some ways Fincher. A lot of my favorite directors are beautifully sent love letters via Godzilla movie here. So Godzilla Minus One isn't just an incredible film for the Godzilla genre of monster movies. It's an incredible film. It's in my top, I think, 6 of the year because it does that balance that I think is nigh impossible. I'm going to get into spoilers here in a second because I want to talk some more about that theme that I love, that war being finished. But before I do want to say, while the people are still here that haven't seen the movie yet, this is also a movie that I saw, again, I hosted the premiere, so I saw it once in basically isolation. There were 2 other people in the theater. They played it for me before the premiere so I could see it to make my questions. And I remember thinking of how incredibly impactful it was and how I felt those urges to cheer and I felt that sadness and sorrow and near tears like you do with a really good film, blockbuster or not. But it felt like a drama, like an Oscar film in the emotion I felt, and it felt like a blockbuster in the excitement I felt. And I was really curious how that would feel in an audience. And I remember the premiere, I was, on stage with the creators at the end, and the last 10 minutes I sat on stage, like offside, not like right in the middle, but I sat offside and I watched the audience, and seeing everyone's face, watching them watch the movie was so incredible because I got to relive my experience through these hundreds of people and the universality of the emotion. This film's in Japanese. The audience was largely Japanese, and the American audience was crying and laughing in these moments, and the director even said he loved watching it with an American audience, and the actor even said he loved experiencing it like this because of how much we just were invested and cheered, and the actual theater itself was so uproarious with the reaction to the film. And so it was really beautiful to watch people watch something that I had felt so strongly about, and it's so special. And one of the great honors of my career was teaming up with Toho and getting to share this with so many people. And the movie is worth everything. Go see this in theaters. This is the non-spoiler ending. Go see this in theaters. It is worth whatever hour of driving, 2 hours, 4 hours of driving, whatever tickets cost in your town. Go seek out Godzilla Minus One. If you don't like monster movies, this can still be for you. If you love monster movies, this will be for you. If you like Oscar films, this is free. If you like action movies, this is for you. If you are going to see it big, see it loud. Don't wait for at home. I don't care if you have an 85-inch TV. That's not going to be an 30-foot TV. It can't be. I don't care if you got 7.1 sound at home. It's not 36 speakers in a room. See it in theaters. Experience it right. It is so big and so impressive, and they did this for an impossibly small amount of money. It deserves your love. All right, spoiler free is over. Time for spoilers. Getting into spoilers, I'm going to make this quick. What I loved most was the lead being somehow incredibly compassionate and never cowardly. The character is a kamikaze pilot who wasn't able to kill himself, and I love that the answer, especially in a movie as violent as Godzilla movies are, isn't violence. Yes, violence towards Godzilla, but that was closure. The violence that ended the movie was violence that had to happen. But I love that his violence, he didn't want to be a killer. He didn't want to kill himself. He wanted to live, and his surprise at always having something to live for, his surprise at wanting to live was so tragically beautiful. And I love that this movie is not about violence, it's about life. I think it's a big difference. I think that you can have movies that are about death be about celebrating life, and I think you can have movies that are about war be about your appreciation of life. But this movie was downright about life. As dark and bleak as it got, as intense and sad and brutal and emotional as it got, it was always about living. And I think that's a really beautiful perspective to take. It's about duty, but it's about duty to yourself as well as your country. It's about duty to living your life to your best, and that our lead experienced that through his relationship with his basic became wife, I assume, by the end, but the woman he was living with, And I love that dynamic of like adopted family, and I love the duty there to take care of your family, and family being more than blood. And I love that the movie is all about, is your war over? And that had so many layers to it. And the emotion I felt when she was literally ripped away by that Godzilla heat blast, the moments of sheer carnage that didn't have to be bloody, but just had the power and impact of what a good monster movie can be, all reflected in the emotion of the characters. The acting in this is incredible. The writing's incredible. The movie's incredible. I really, really hope you seek it out. And there's nothing quite like the redemption of someone who finally feels like he's enough, and a woman getting to show all of that conviction and intelligence and evolve. Well, not like she's not that much screen time, but every time our female lead is on screen, she's evolving and she's growing. And I really love that we see him become more available while she's becoming more her own person. They're both in their own unique arcs all around Godzilla. Like, what an incredible, incredible story to tell. Love this film. I love that she lived in the end. I love that it sets up potentially a sequel, as Godzilla movies tend to do, with that last post-credit, like right before post-credit moment, that thing crawling up her neck, you may have noticed. I loved all those details, and I was just so impressed. I even enjoyed, the small town dynamic amongst friends in this was really special. So yeah, go see Godzilla Minus One. Hopefully you saw it before you got to these spoilers at the end. They were light spoilers, but I didn't want anyone to have any expectations of living or dying in case, because that I didn't think she was going to come back, and I was really like bowled over by her coming back and how they handled all that. So Godzilla Minus One, he's the king of the monsters, y'all. It's so good. See it big, see it loud. Leave a comment below. Like this video if you liked this video. Let me know what else you want me to review, and please do follow, subscribe, notification bell. I'm going to make more on this channel, especially if people keep watching. So much love. I'll see y'all soon. Bye. See Godzilla Minus One.